Domestic violence and abuse can happen to anyone, yet the problem is often overlooked, excused, or denied. This is especially true when the abuse is psychological rather than physical. Joining us now to talk about the signs that you are in a domestic abusive relationship is Dr. Tamika Anderson, the author of Speak Up and Get Out. Tamika, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. So before we get into the book and what we're talking about, share a little bit of your story.
Okay, the last time my husband held a knife to my throat, a police officer took me to the side and he said, "Look here, unless you make a change, the next time we come back to your home, it's going to be to take you out of here in a body bag." Wow. I am a survivor of 20 years of domestic abuse and violence, and I now dedicate my life to speaking, coaching, and mentoring women to help them know the red flags and escape domestic violence situations. Rihanna and Whitney Houston made their famous domestic violence 911 calls during a full moon. And 911 calls related to domestic violence actually double during a full moon.
No kidding.
Yes. So the question you need to be asking yourself is, will your spouse or partner turn into a werewolf when the next full moon comes up?
Right.
So I have 4 very important questions that you need to ask yourself to determine if you could be the victim of domestic violence. So the first question to ask yourself, does your spouse or partner physically, verbally, or emotionally abuse you? If so, you could be the victim of domestic violence. Second question to ask yourself, does your spouse or partner control your money? If so, you could be the victim of domestic violence. Third question to ask yourself, do they dictate where you can go or who you can spend time with? If so, you could be the victim of domestic violence. And the fourth question to ask yourself, do they monitor your online activity, your text messages, phone calls, emails? If so, you could be the victim of domestic violence. And if any of these examples apply to you or someone you know, then I highly suggest my talk formula to break the cycle of domestic violence in your life. T. Time. Time is of the essence. You need to make up your mind that now is the time to get out safely. A. Ask questions. Get on the phone. Contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE if you believe you are the victim of domestic violence. They can also connect you with your local women's shelter who can assist you with a safe exit strategy plan. L. Listen. Listen to supportive family, friends, and police officers who are urging you to get out safely. And K. Keep your information safe. Keep all of your important documents in one large envelope safely hidden from your abuser. This way, it's all in one place just in case you need to leave in a hurry. That's my talk formula to break the cycle of domestic violence in your life, because it's time to speak up and get out.
Right. So speaking of, let's talk about your book. Obviously, I'm sure you go into greater detail on this in your experience. So tell us a little bit more about that book.
Well, the book is a guide. I was abused for 20 years, verbally and emotionally and financially, and it took me being physically abused to realize I was actually being abused. And so the book is just for women and also family members to be aware that abuse is not just physical. And so it's a step-by-step guide to show you what abuse is and then also walk you step-by-step to get out of the situation.
And how can we get a copy of this book?
The book will be available on Amazon.com.
Okay, fantastic. Well, Tamika, thank you so much for sharing your story. Glad that you survived to help others that could be in a similar situation. And again, guys, if you want more information on Tamika and her book, head over to casa.com. We will have all the pertinent links there.